All right, good evening, everybody. It is Monday, June 17th, 2024, here at PreciseAlgorithmTrading.com. Let's dive in and look at our automated trading systems. So, this is the Dow today, and today we gave a little bit back. It's that trade right there. No big shakes. Reran the Russell this weekend. Didn't get everything done that I wanted to these strategies, but I'm getting there. And you can see when I apply the math, that's this math and the NASDAQ to it, that we do get an upward sloping equity curve. So what that really boils down to is that the volume that I've added to the markets, and I've reduced the stop loss to next to nothing, especially on this one. Um, if you look at how it trades, its stop loss is $75. So it makes it for a little bit of a jaggy, and this is probably not even wholly optimized yet for really everything that I can do, but this is pretty alright. It sure beats the heck out of waiting in a sideways market for months. So, not sure I'm ready to employ it yet, but it's getting pretty close. And then the NASDAQ today, actually, I think it's throwing a little bit of a spike trade in there that's not right, and I think it's because we had to change contracts from the NQM to the NQU. So that happens sometimes. It's not that big a deal, but it put in this. I think that's a bogus trade, and we'll look at it again here in a day or so. But um, I'm not 100% sure. I think we actually did have this fall, and then today I don't even know that it traded. So we've got a little bit of weirdness going on because of the contract change, but I've had that happen before. I want to look at this tomorrow night and see if it even matches, because I think there's a chance it won't. That's just part of this gig, guys. It's you know you, you you get these nice pops every now and then. This is a little bit concerning because it's such a big one that I think is fake, but it might actually even be, if I pulled up the old contract, maybe it did trade that today. Then when it combines these, the continuous and the new contract together, it gets some wonky information at the crossover. So that's the automated trading. So far, so good. All right, manual trading, which, let's dive in here. I'm going to maximize the sell and keep it simple. So this is the S&P 500. Green candles all up. It's still going crazy to the upside. That's possibly because of the contracts changeover. Whatever. Saw that gap this morning and it just kept going. So the S&P went up 41 points, or 0.72 or 0.77% today. This is what it looks like without volume on it, which is enough to make me crazy. I don't know why the moving averages won't show up. Excuse me, in the without volume on it. It's not been a problem too much in the past. There's something going on in my settings I need to go fix. Um, the Dow went up 188 points today, almost 189. Looks like this. Oh, look at that. We had a breakout. So the Dow went from a basically negative market to a positive market in one candle. This was a sort of hammer candlestick down here. We did break a trend line that I had drawn in here. I've got a little triangle pattern that was going on here, and that all broke today. Don't know what the catalyst was, or don't really care either. I'll zoom out a little bit for some context. Yeah. The Russell still have, now we got a gray candle. We do have a squeeze that is going sideways now. And just looking at IWM to get a handle on how far that thing moved today. 0.84%. So all right. I'm going to be looking still for a buy signal to get back into this. When the candle turns green again, I'm going to be looking to enter this trade. And I still think we could get up to that target, because I think that this could be just a head fake down on the right shoulder over here. Almost looks like a inverted head and shoulders pattern. What else? The NASDAQ just continues to rip higher. The NASDAQ went up 168 points, or 0.95%. We're going to look at NVIDIA while we're here, which look at that. All right. So NVIDIA has its first, I'll call it a negative day, but it's still pretty positive since right after the split. We had one little negative candle. One candle doesn't do much, so, and we still have positive momentum. The transportation index, we're going to use IYT. Interesting. This one's got the most headwinds to get. There's not a whole lot for it to. There's a lot of these two red lines. That's the 50 and the 100 EMA. These moving averages are in the wrong direction. This thing's going to have to like rewind itself to get the moving averages to cross the other way, like it did back here, to get up and going again. So literally watch this side of the chart to do what this side of the chart did again. Then you have to pick your poison on how to get in, because once it actually does all that, you're way far away from the mean, and you either have to gulp real hard and just let it go, or wait for a pullback that maybe never happens. And here's a pullback that happened, but yeah, probably get the idea. Or you can jump the gun like it did here when the candles turn green, and just hope it goes that way, and you can always set your stop to get out if you're wrong. And you can also count waves, which actually I think the next time up might be the one, but just based on wave counts. But this thing also, if these red lines turn back into green, that would be handy, and you could do that if it's short term, which this was. So anyway, you get the idea. That was. Let's look at oil, which is taking off. And it looks like it's going to be up overnight as well, but we'll see what happens. And then gold, GLD. Gold is negative right now. It was positive for a moment on Friday. And that's nothing to do yet. Bonds, TLT. It's an interesting looking chart. We'll see where we go from there. I think that's probably enough. Let's go to flip this back to ES and look at the VIX, which is in this choppy position right now. Not a lot to do, and there's when you add them all together. Still fairly bullish, and just put a new higher high in. Broke this level, and really that whole previous level of double top that was going on there. Alright, and finally the bullish percent index is bullish. Do it like this. Here's the Dow. Didn't move. The NYA down 0.9%. The transportation index didn't move. The NASDAQ minus 2.2%. The S&P 500 minus 1.05%. The S&P 100 didn't move. The NASDAQ 100 didn't move. So that's interesting that all the internals are negative on a day like today where everything was really pretty positive. So let's go back to the S&P. Now let's look at the NYA. Yeah. Really not much to glean from that except all the negativity. If this thing flips back, man, we are still pretty much 50-50 on bullish versus bearish stocks. This is the largest one of the, I don't know how many positions are in the NYA, but it's something like 7,000. And so we're still 50-50 in the market for bullish versus bearish. And that's my report. So we'll talk to you again tomorrow night. Take care, guys.